Hi, I'm Richard Randall, and welcome to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. This is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate with Colorado's Real Estate Authority, Barb Schlinker. Barb Schlinker is a retired Navy veteran. Barb is an author. Barb's also a pilot, and Barb and her team enjoy all that Colorado and the Front Range have to offer. Barb, always great to be talking with you. Now, we air Your Real Estate Voice every Saturday. If you can't listen to the entire show, it is always available on Barb's site, barbhasthebuyers.com, or look for the podcast on all of the popular platforms like iHeartRadio, etc. Just search for Barb Schlinker. Barb, what are we going to be talking about this weekend?
Well, Richard, one of the topics that's kind of on the top of most buyers' minds is, are the prices going to go down or are they going to keep going up? And I think you'll be surprised at the answer. I mean, we're seeing a little bit of market softening, but the averages aren't going backwards. So I think it's good news for sellers. It's a little challenging for buyers. So we'll go into detail about that. And then the next topic is near and dear to my heart because I deal with this on a weekly basis of buyers doing inspections on my listings and the sellers having to, they're excited that their house is under contract, but now they have a whole nother problem to deal with, which is the home inspection. So we're going to talk about some things about the home inspection and what are some red flags that maybe a home seller can prepare for before they put their house on the market. And then we're going to talk about why new construction homes are actually selling faster than resale homes. And that's actually true. They're making it happen. It's pretty cool what they're doing. And the very last topic is a question that I get all the time with my clients. Hey, what do we do if we have a house that we need to sell, but we want to buy a home? How do we make that transition? So I have some ideas for people in that situation. And as always, I love talking about my hot new listings. Richard?
Barb, if you look online about home prices, it gives the impression that in some other areas of the country, home prices are falling. So, what are you seeing for home prices here along the Front Range of Colorado?
Well, what I'm seeing in the numbers, and I don't look at monthly numbers, I actually pay for some pretty expensive software that gives me detailed information pretty much up to the weekday about what's going on, what's the median list price, what's the average sales price, what's the average days on market. So I can see trends, it graphs it out in lines. And I am not seeing the prices go backwards at all. In fact, they're heading back up again. Now, some of this is seasonality. Typically, the springtime is the time of year to sell your home because there's fewer homes on the market until we get deep into the summer, and there is higher demand for homes. So it's a really great time to sell. But there's a lot of things about the whole Front Range Colorado area that make this area a lot more desirable than some other areas that are really struggling right now. Like I was talking to my colleague last night that has a rental property in Florida, and she says the prices there are down by 17%, which is a huge number. And I think that has to do a lot with insurance. And they're trying to resolve the issue, but you can't watch one video on YouTube about a local real estate market and think it's going to be the same nationwide because it just isn't. Real estate is very local. In this location, we have really beautiful weather most of the time, lots of outdoor activities, very few bugs. A lot of people like that, low humidity. And there are views pretty much everywhere. Plus, it's a really great lifestyle to live in Colorado. So a lot of people love it here and they will stay. But other areas are seeing massive price fluctuations, like Florida, like some areas in DC, as an example. But what we're seeing around here all along the Front Range is an increase in the median list price and the median sales price. So that's a good thing for home sellers. And for buyers, the issue really is affordability. It's about the house payment, right? So like I have a seller right now that bought a home for about $410,000, no money down. using VA, which is a lower rate than conventional. And principal, interest, taxes, and insurance are almost $3,000 a month for a low price point. So it is all about the payment for first-time home buyers. But in the higher spectrum of the market, I'm not seeing so much interest rate concern at all. Like for them, affordability is just finding the right house. So, but it's really the first-time home buyer that's having a bit of an issue. And since the election, we actually have seen a drop in interest rates of a good 0.75%. And it's been very stable for the last couple of weeks. The other thing that's really great news is that the rates are really back in the sixes right now. Conventional rates are about 6.7 to 6.8. It varies hourly during the week. And VA and FHA loans are hovering right around in the low sixes. But what a lot of the sellers are doing is they're actually offering certain incentives to get the buyers in to look at their home. Like our preferred mortgage lender will actually offer 1% off of the current rates, plus pay down some interest rates just a little bit. What I'm seeing though is that there seems to be a lot more buyer activity. There's a lot more offer activity. I recently had a bidding war at a 1.2 plus million dollar price range. So I'm feeling like there's a little bit more certainty going on both with buyers and sellers. And people are out looking at homes. There is definitely some pent-up demand as the population grows. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. We actually have over 28,120 buyers in waiting just on our little website. Typically, we can match up to 700 buyers. That would be a high match for any home in this market. And we offer a free in-home consultation on what to do and what not to do to get your house ready for sale. We'll show you what the market's doing right now, go over all the closing costs, and show you exactly how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells. And all you have to do is call us, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. And if you're not ready right now, that's fine. Go to barbhasthebuyers.com, click on that green button that says free reports. We have lots of great information. You can download things like how to prepare your home to sell for the most money, the top 15 tips to sell your house fast and for top dollar. Just go there and register, and we'll be able to get that report right out to you. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and you can reach Barb at 719-301-3900. We're talking about whether or not home prices will continue to rise. So, Barb, will you please share with us the current market trends?
Well, believe it or not, Richard, I just checked two of the counties along the Front Range that represent pretty much the highest volume, El Paso and Douglas County. And what I'm seeing is the prices are going up since the fall substantially, and the inventory is kind of staying the same while the days on market are dropping quite a bit. So that's a good sign. I think we've come out of the election doldrums and all that uncertainty, and buyers are like, okay, time to move on and get a house. So what does this mean for buyers? A lot of buyers are hoping that the prices are going to come down or the rates are going to come down. And the reality is the interest rates that were hovering around 2.5%, 3%, those fantastic numbers that we saw after the meltdown, were actually artificially created by the government. And I don't think we're going to see that again. We might see rates go down into the fives, which is really good. But if you look over time, if you go back to the 1980s, that's a long time, 40 years, the average interest rate was 7%. That's the average over all that time. So right now it's below 7%. I think the rates are fine, but you might have to use some kind of ideas to help you do things like buy your mortgage interest rate down, either with seller paid closing cost or get your mortgage lender to help you. I don't really think it's a buyer's market. I don't see the prices dropping like an elevator, like you're seeing in some other markets. And really the number to watch, if you really want to watch interest rates, I go to Mortgage News Daily to look at that. But you can also watch the inflation rate. If you see inflation coming back down, I think the rates are going to come back down a little bit more. And don't wait, go ahead and jump in because it's actually very easy to refinance. A lot of the different loans can allow you to refinance with very little out-of-pocket cost and be able to get that rate down if the rates happen to drop down into a price range that might make your payment more affordable. And it's critical for sellers that when they put their house on the market, that they don't overprice their home. Nothing more frustrating for most home sellers than to put their home on the market and actually slowly walk the price down, because according to the National Association of Realtors, you're going to net less money in the end. Pricing is absolutely the first impression when you go online, which is where the buyers first start looking. And if you overprice, all it's doing is helping your neighbors that are for sale sell their homes. And you don't want to do that. And of course, marketing has to be top notch because unlike the old days when the agents controlled the inventory, nowadays, if you want to look at homes, most buyers start that search online on their smartphone. So if the marketing isn't perfect, the buyers are going to make their decision as to whether or not to even come by and look at it based on the online presentation. So it's really, really important that you get all 4 P's right, which is picking the right agent, preparing the home for sale, pricing it very realistically, and make sure the home is presented to attract all the buyers in the buyer population. So if you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900, or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. I have over 28,120 buyers in waiting just on my little website. Typically, I can match at least 700 buyers to your home, and we can go from there. Just call us 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. If you're thinking of making a move, simply call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. When we come back, we'll be talking about what are the biggest red flags in home inspections here in Colorado. Don't miss that.